Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Happy holidays to everybody. We're, 4 days till Christmas. Are you guys ready for Christmas?
No.
No?
I think so.
Yeah?
Well, I have everything I ever wanted. So it's and Josie's family's coming in, I think, Tuesday.
Oh, nice, man. That's cool.
She got a lot of family. Her Seattle family's coming down, and and the kids, and then her Valley people down, not Van Nuys, but down in that area, Simi Valley people. They're coming up.
Cool.
But yeah, we just the two of us, man. So I think we're ready. You ready? You got kids. So you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. The funny thing is, I think it feels like we're kind of not ready because we put the tree up, and my dog has ripped every ornament off the tree.
That's part of the fun. That's cool.
So
you have the ones that don't break, though, right?
No,
yeah,
we do.
You do have
we do and we don't.
You have the busted ones with glasses.
Well, no. So there's a lot of like artsy, craftsy kind of ones. So there was one that was and I had to crack up because I came out in the morning. It was about 5 a.m. I come out and the dog's sitting right in the front room where I usually sit and have coffee. I'm like, what the heck is in your mouth? And I look and there's those styrofoam balls that you can make arts and crafts out of and stuff. There's a pretty good size one and it was a snowman. And so she had that stuck in her mouth.
Yeah, you're gonna need a shorter tree, taller table.
Yeah, the little bits of styrofoam were stuck in her whiskers, and the way she stopped and looked at me, and the styrofoam ball kind of drops out of her mouth, and you see little pieces all over the place, and I was like, "Oh boy, Mom's gonna be mad at you."
Did I do something wrong?
So you walk into our house and you look at the Christmas tree, and it's pretty tall, but it's kind of a thin one. And everything from her height, where she can get up on her hind legs and down, the tree's completely bare.
Next year, shorter tree on a table.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we're not even putting presents out yet because I know she'll grab them and shred them.
Yeah.
She'll shred them. But we're ready. It's cool. We're ready.
And you got how old's Noah? 19?
He's 18 and a half.
All right, so you got an adult and you're
and he gets a hard cast on Monday because he broke his wrist snowboarding on Saturday.
So he gets it on or off?
On.
Yeah, you mentioned that
he
last
has a
Saturday.
Fiberglass piece that's running down his arm to
and
his
elbow. Now they're going to that's a 6-weeker then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
There you go. I'll come up and sign it.
I got
told
the
you 4 times, 1 time.
That's insane, man. You've been through a lot.
4 left wrists and 1 right wrist.
That's a lot.
Broken, but not for a long time. I was doing wild stuff when I was younger.
Roof jumping.
Yeah, bike jumping, trying to jump over a dumpster. I was Evel Knievel, baby.
You tried to jump over a dumpster?
Big dumpster. So I had the ramp built, man. Back wheel hit the back of the dumpster, very end of the dumpster. End over end, man. I missed it.
I hope the lid.
There was no video back then. The lids were closed. But they're what, 8 feet, 6 feet, man. I was flying down the alley, man. It was cool.
I did some stuff, but I was always
rash burns.
I was very nervous about that kind of stuff. Craziest thing I ever did was we had a dog that was a Samoyed Husky.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And we lived at the top of the hill. I got on a skateboard and had her pull me down the hill. And when you start going too fast and the skateboard starts going like this.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
And I fell off of it.
And there's no recovery, by the way.
Yeah, this is on the...
No, you're going down.
Yeah, this is on the sidewalk, and I just happened to land on the strip of grass between the asphalt street and the sidewalk. I remember I landed on a sprinkler with my knee.
Gash.
And I was screaming, and I thought, you know what? I could have been way, way worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some rash rug. I remember going home and my arm was busted and I had just road rash stuff all over. My mom's, what'd you do now? I fell off a horse. I told you I got thrown off a horse.
Yes.
My first and only time. But a friend of mine, well, he wasn't a friend. He became a friend. Has a dirt bike and he went by the horse really fast and scared the horse and the horse bucked me off. And I landed on a stone and it shattered my wrist. And it was actually almost 90 degrees. And he stopped and put me on the back of his dirt bike and zipped through the town bring me down to Pomona Valley Hospital, which was like 5 miles. Right through the he said, "You're broken bad, let's go." And I just held on to him with one arm and he took me to the hospital.
Thank God he didn't crash on the way.
Oh, I know, but I would have been, I don't know how long it'd take we didn't have phones or anything then to try to call the ambulance, nothing. Yeah. So we're like, and it was It wasn't compound, but close because it was busted like
Oh my
that.
gosh, man, that makes my stomach just.
Yeah.
You know how they straightened it?
Oh, I don't want to know.
No, don't
I don't
do
want
it.
to know.
Oh, I got to tell you, you love this.
No.
Do you remember the Chinese handcuffs where you put your fingers in and you can't pull your fingers out? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So they put one on my index on my middle finger and my thumb, and they hung it from a hook from the ceiling, and they pull on this part of my bicep area, and pull until it straightens. After about 20 shots of Novocaine, and so I was awake though. Oh my God, it was the weirdest thing to watch, and it hurt. And then they can't put you in a cast because the swelling's so bad for 2 days.
That's what happened with Noah. No cast for a
So
week.
I had to have it, and it turned all kinds of colors, and I had to have it in no brace at all, and they could barely have it wrapped because it was swelling so fast.
Did you have a fashionable cast?
I had a lot of people write on it, and I think I told you the story that
Was it the white cast or did you get colors?
this one was all the way up to my arm because it was such a bad break.
Did it have the little thing that stuck?
They did. I had a chest brace and a bar,
Way.
and I streaked, and that's back when streaking was big.
Yeah.
So me and a bunch of friends, it was the Jewish temple on Town Avenue in Claremont, California, and it was there's big doors, both entrances. So we staked the place out before. So I'm like an idiot, so I ran up and my cast hit the window and made this loud bang. So everybody turned and looked. Didn't break the window, but it made this huge noise. So everybody stopped and turned, and we're standing at the doorway, and all I have is this shirt over my head and sneakers on. But then we ran like crazy. And in the paper, it said, and of course I had a cast, so they said these crazy kids from Claremont High streaked, and one had a cast with an American flag painted on it. And duh, so I'm painting it white the next day, but I'm still the only guy out there with a cast on.
So you're running around naked with a cast.
Yeah, big
and you
old
run
cast.
into a plate glass window and
the
bounce off it.
The
and
big door made this big
that
loud
makes the
crack.
news.
And everybody stood
Wow.
up. It's back when streaking was there. Everybody was doing it. It was
That was the way you got their
1977.
attention, right?
So, and the one of the guys turned around because everybody stopped and looked when I hit the window.
Yeah.
And they also, everybody stood up from their pews or whatever they were and looked, and we froze like idiots. We standing there, and one guy ran back in the car. And so the driver's job was to go around the other side real quick and get us on the other side, right? So 3 of the 4 of us ran through it. And there was, I just remember one lady standing up clapping and stuff, you know, and but I have my cast on.
How did you run with that
I
cast?
just fast.
That's what I want to see.
My mother knew too because she read the little Claremont
course.
paper. Bill, I talked to you about this. Wasn't me.
I don't have an American flag.
Wasn't me.
That is
Too funny.
so
Yeah,
funny, man.
wasn't thinking too much back then.
That is great.
True story though.
Too funny.
Yeah.
So should we do golf gifts or
Well,
history or what do you think?
How much time we got? Because history's going to take us a little while. Do you want? Mike,
maybe-
you should at least open that bottom gift. The other ones are
let's do
Christmas
gifts.
scratchers,
Okay.
but you
Let's
should
do-
open.
Let's do gifts then for right now.
So I got Mike something we talked. He might have one already. Or knowing Mike, he might have.
And
this.
the wrapping paper's donuts, which I love. Used to love to eat.
Do you have this already?
No, I don't.
You know? Come on, you do have it, right?
I do not. I got toilet golf.
Toilet golf game.
Dude, this thing is awesome.
If anybody deserves that, you do.
I'll take a picture of it, put it on social media, man. This is awesome. Dude, this is sweet.
We've talked about it on the show every year.
I know. This is great. Now I just can't let my dog eat this.
The cover picture is insane.
My girlfriend was at a white elephant party the other day where somebody got toilet golf.
Yeah.
So this is the second reference to toilet golf
This is
in like
awesome.
3 days.
We've talked about it on the show and then I was at a store and saw it and said I gotta get this.
Dude, you're awesome, man.
So-
that is
Please take a picture of it in use, right?
Oh,
but,
I don't know if I.
but
can
no,
do
do
that.
it from out looking outwards. All right, no selfie angle.
Yeah, no selfie.
All right, but
No,
For God's sakes, don't end up in a bunker.
No.
and you make sure you pick up all your loose impediments. The that has a hook on the door, doesn't it say like do not disturb
Yes.
playing
Yes.
playing golf?
Oh, it's so awesome,
funny.
man.
Well, Merry Christmas, buddy.
I told you guys, Merry Christmas to you too, man. I told you guys that I think it was Nikki that got me that one year the butt putt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
the
you-
butt putt.
My dog loves that thing.
Your dog's just a happy dog.
Oh, she is. She'll stick her nose in there, and it just, the sound goes off, and then she gets.
Doesn't it shoot out little pellets or something?
When the golf ball, you put it up the
remember the
ramp
butt
and
putt.
up into the butt.
Yeah.
And then it
It comes
spits
back
it out
out.
the side, and when it spits it out
With
the
an
side,
appropriate noise.
it has the appropriate noise. But there's like 6 or 7 different noises, so it's really funny.
Where does it rate on the fart chart? Because there's somebody that's
Oh, they're
Kind of a loose,
we should talk to your guy.
They're very open people.
open people.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're
they're
open-
very
people.
open-minded people.
All right, open-minded people.
Yes.
Not your closed-minded,
No.
sensitive people.
No.
All right.
And so the funny thing is my dog will grab it by the side where the ball comes out after you make it in, and that's the side that the little button's on because the ball hits the button, makes the noise, right? So she grabs it with her mouth, and depending on the sound of the particular noise, there's 6 or 7 different ones. There's a couple of them that really make her mad.
So she reacts differently.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So she's
She'll throw it.
part of the fart chart.
Oh, yeah. She'll throw it. She'll actually have it in her mouth, and if
That's
it makes a certain
funny.
noise, she'll pick it up, and she's like, I'm
Oh,
out of here with this one.
You got to film that.
Oh, I have it. I have some videos.
Because you
got
got
to
to film.
That's hilarious.
And the different sound she reacts different
Oh,
to
yeah.
the ball.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. It's really cool.
so funny.
So now I'm almost complete. I got.
Look how much work he's got out
I
of your
know.
butt putt.
I know. It's
Exactly.
awesome, man.
You never know where something
You
like
just
that will
don't
go, you know?
You just don't.
See the dog. So so he thinks like it's a different animal.
I
That's right.
think so.
It makes this noise as an animal, and there's a higher pitch. It could be some.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Actually,
Yeah, it's so funny to
I wonder if my
watch.
cat would react to a butt putt. The other gifts are just your holiday scratchers that we always get, but you needed to have. So
I left the gifts in the other car, like a smart guy. that
I
am.
have while you're doing that a feel good story. I was reading some stuff, and it's more for next week's show. We have a show next week, yep.
Yes.
So it's kind of like year in review and happened.
Uh-huh.
But I was reading these, the biggest stories of 19, and Brendon Todd. You've seen Brendon Todd play?
Brendon Todd. Hot.
So check this story out with this guy. So, and how in the world Brendon Todd made it back to professional golf is a testament to his steel in his will and his unwavering self-belief and his perseverance, obviously. So in 2015, he completely lost his game, kind of like how I feel, hitting it 40 yards offline, not knowing when why it happened. This is a tour quality player, and he's completely lost. It was gone. You know how weird is this game, right?
Yeah, totally.
And so he's ready to quit. So he was in 2011. He was trying to come back, and then he thought, I can't do this. So this is his second try to come back, and he's going to buy a pizza franchise. As you see, he wasn't going to golf anymore. And so out of the blue, he had a good week, and he won the Bermuda Championship, which was more of one of the mini tour things. What do they call those tours
right.
now?
Yeah, the mini tours.
Yeah, but it's so that exempted him. So to get into the next week, and so he won the following week, 2 weeks in a row with the Makova Golf Classic, which gave him a 3-year exemption. So he
Wow.
went
Crazy.
from nothing to having a decent week on a mini tour, which got him into the tour event. Wins that, and he's now exempt, and he's back on top of the world. He's made $2-point-something million since, and out of almost quitting completely.
Yeah.
I was reading this thinking in a whole different level. Why should I be so hard on myself? Because Matt and I played a 2-ball scramble, so we figured neither was and we shot 4 under par at the Coombra. So as 2-ball
nice,
scramble.
man.
So it wasn't like we're ugly, but I just
Right.
know how I normally would hit it.
Right.
But my short game, I was. So, anyways, but I was just hearing these stories and how things can change so quick from a guy that's going to buy a pizza place with no money in his pocket, trying to play golf. 2 times he quit the tour, about ready to quit his 3rd time. Well, he didn't quit. He just lost his card, right? He couldn't keep his card.
Right.
So he's about ready to, and then he wins this little event, gets him next week, and he wins the next week. So
And
he
this
has
is Brandon Todd.
Brendon Todd.
Brendon. Yeah.
Brendon.
Brendon Todd, yeah. So
I think we had him as one of our. Maybe it's too long ago. I thought we maybe had him as one of our rookies.
He's been around back in 2009.
yeah,
and
he was
stuff.
one of our rookies.
But it's just
When
out
we
of
did the
nowhere,
rookies.
and even himself. And there's a bunch of cool stories which we'll share next week for like the best stories. And obviously, Tiger's in one of those lists of best stories.
Yeah.
But this one I thought was cool.
I can't even imagine what that would feel like as a pro to all of a sudden totally lose control of your game.
Oh, it's crap.
I mean, when that happens to me, I flip out, and I am nowhere near that.
And it happens to us players who don't play for a living. But imagine that's your living.
Oh my
right?
gosh, I
It'd be
can't
like
even
if you lost
imagine.
all your skills as a realtor.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gone. I mean, how crazy is that?
yeah, crazy. I can't even imagine.
And so, and then he said, and all of a sudden, I mean, he was ready to call it. He was done. He was looking into other businesses, and he wins this little event, and then gets him in the big event, and he wins the big event.
The amazing
Because
part
he didn't win the
is-
big event, he'd still be done, right?
Yeah, the amazing part is that he could do that consecutively.
2 weeks, yeah. He was something.
That's incredible.
Something clicked those 2 weeks, man.
I still think I still think one of the greatest stories was Paul Stankowski when he won. I think it was still the Nike Tour, and he won that Nike Tour event.
Oh,
then
yeah.
he got to the
He went back
got
to
to
back.
Greensboro or something,
And he went back and
and
won
he
the tour.
won the Greensboro, and then he played the Masters the
Yeah.
next week. And I remember
He was like in 5th place at the Masters.
when
or
we
something.
had our pool at Avila, we put those big Titleist scoreboards up on the wall, and remember how all of us were like,
No.
"We're
Because we're with Tom. We're the
Yeah.
brother. With his brother. That was amazing for him.
That
And
is
set his-
unbelievable."
and it did him well enough to have a good life.
Yes.
You know, he's not playing, but he's having a decent. You know, he's
You know,
having a
he
good
still
life.
gets opportunities to go back and play on the senior tour once in
And
a
he
while.
played the straight down.
Yeah, which is amazing too.
So you
himself.
mentioned Stricker, right? He was the assistant captain, and he's going to be the next captain.
Right.
I think this story is very cool. So this is this year. He went back in time, kind of like I did. By the way, I went back to those old ping irons. Not. That could be one of the reasons. But he went back, way back, and putting his old Titleist 755 forged irons. They debuted in 2006. You probably had those. Were you Titleist? The 755 forged irons?
I didn't have the 755.
All right, well, he went back. They were debuted in 2006. They went back to his bag this year. All right, so he played him at the Memorial. He was trying to do something different. Then he brought him into the U.S. Senior Open this year and won the U.S. Senior Open. And he was trying because he with his old clubs, right?
Wow.
We're talking 13 years ago,
Wow.
golf clubs, right? And so and he didn't have any endorsement deals. So what's even more funny than that? So he went back to what felt good. So he thought, well, if I'm swinging a little bit of the old clubs, maybe I should go back to my old putter. So Stricker's putter was a golf artifact as well. He had an Odyssey White White Hot 2. It played back in 2006 Houston Open. He brought it back out, and he won the Senior Open with that. So he said, I did so well with my irons, I'm going to try my old putter too, and he won. So now he's signed one of the most unusual endorsement deals in history. He signed a deal with Odyssey, and his deal doesn't call for any signage on his hat, bag, or anywhere else for that matter, just as long as he continues to use the putter that's nearly 15 years old already. So all he has to do is use that putter that's that old, and they endorsed him, so they gave him some money to do it.
How much do you think they gave him to do that?
I looked at it, I couldn't find it. But they endorsed it. The pact is called no signage on his hat, bag, or anywhere else for that matter. It's just to continue to use the nearly 15-year-old putter, which is right up his alley because right now he's a big belief in old equipment. So he went back to old things, and I tried to do that with my ping irons. That's why I brought it up. I found a little set of ping irons, and they didn't make any difference.
Awesome.
I thought they would. It's the same. It's not the arrow, man. It's me.
That's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing.
But-
I had a friend of mine that we do lessons together, and he's funny. He has a set of irons, but he brought his own ping wedges.
Yeah.
So we did a lesson the other day, and he has a lob wedge that he just hits unbelievably well.
God, you still have my ping wedge.
Yeah, he's got a sand wedge.
I had
He's
a
got
beryllium copper wedge that I used to just love.
Yeah, he's got beryllium copper sand wedge, and then he's got a stainless steel lob wedge.
It's such a hard steel, but the 17 forecast, but
Yeah.
they don't have the spring face. Like the TaylorMades and all the new clubs have the spring face. The COR's got a little spring to it.
Right.
So obviously those pings don't. So I thought I'd hit them better, but I'm still hitting the TaylorMades because they have a hotter face. They come off the face hotter. So but I got to get
cool.
fit by you. So you said,
Yeah,
but I need to be fit by ping, and you don't have them.
We have left-handed irons. We don't have drivers.
Oh, the drivers.
Yeah.
I want to start with the driver. All right.
We'll take a break we come right back. We've got a history segment, and we
Nikki.
got some golf gifts, and we got Nikki. So stay with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. We'll be right back.
I'm a winner.
Yeah, what'd you win?